Okay, thank you. I hope my presentation is visible. Good. Yeah, I will present you COALA in a nutshell. I don't have much time. There would be so much to say about it, but let's start. There's a vision for COALA for how we see AI in manufacturing. And we see it as something that is proactive and a pragmatic approach to support operative situations. And in particular, those situations that require high cognitive load, time pressure, where there's little or zero tolerance for quality issues. And this leads us to a human-centered digital assistant that we are proposing and we are building in our project. We also try to shape the complementarity between AI assistants and humans. So each one has their specific role. The AI is supposed to perform time-consuming and stressful tasks, while the human is focused on understanding and problem-solving. And there's also a non-technical component, which is education and training, especially related to capabilities, risks, and limitations of AI in manufacturing. So workers need to have some knowledge about these aspects to trust the assistant and to work with the assistant in a satisfying way. The solution looks like this is a small illustration here. So in principle, we have kind of human user and the AI has some skills that it can provide to the user, and lots of the skills depend on other AI components or mechanisms, and we want to make them trustworthy here. So we need to design them in a specific way to make people trust the outputs that the AI provides. Also, our assistant is voice enabled. That means you can talk to it by voice, natural language, and the solution itself will support the workers in activities that use analytics, data analytics to some extent or a larger extent even, and they support, or it supports new workers during on-the-job training. So these are the two main solution directions that we are focusing at. And then we have the education training concept that I mentioned before also. And the solution is supposed to transform how workers perform their jobs. So they will use the assistant, and that in that sense, they will perform the jobs differently than they did before, with the goal to increase the production performance and the product quality. This is really the in the nutshell view of the project, starting from the objectives to the expected impacts that we plan to have. We have 4 objectives related to product and process quality, to the agility of the production process, and to human AI collaboration. And we have 3 work packages that focus on the contributions in the narrow sense, and there are a couple of outputs that we call enablers that to a large extent are working now. So we're very happy about this, that our prototypes are working, and we are at the beginning of trying them in the actual factories. So some things are still in orange here, which means the activities are not concluded yet. And yeah, as I said, we're in the middle of the evaluation to find out if we can produce the outcomes that we promised here, production performance improvements and human integration improvements. So this is the up-to-date view of what the project is like now. And now a few words about the architecture, a bit more technical. So we deliver our solution in a way that it's accessible on mobile devices, so people in a factory can use it via a mobile device. They can interact with the assistant in a multimodal way. That means different means of interacting. Voice is one, typing is another. Clicking on the tablet is another thing, and there are different AI-based components. One is responsible for the natural language processing, of course, and then in the background we have a prescriptive analytics component, cognitive advising features, and explainable AI also. And one of the maybe more key characteristics of our solution is that we use open source technology as much as we can, and all the base technology is based on open source. The illustration on the right-hand side gives an overview how things are working. So we have on the lower level the manufacturing resources, and on the upper level the actual assistant features that provide support for the user in the form of intents. So if the user has an intent to get an advice, then there are some components involved, and same for predictions, for receiving information, and for getting explanations also. We have 3 business cases. Each business case is focusing on one aspect of our assistant. We have a textile production as one use case. The goal is to reduce the time and cost of machine operator trainings. We have a white goods production use case that's about adopting the predictive quality strategy and the prescriptive analytics that I mentioned before, and we have a detergent production case that's about increasing efficiency of production and especially reducing the changeover time from one chemical product to another one. And the scope of today's webinar will be the textile production use case, and other webinars, earlier webinars covered the other cases already, so you can find them online also on our website. And now the use cases. So each of these business cases that you saw before, these ones here represent one industry, and then we have another view on this, which focuses more on the kind of support that our solution provides. And one support is the so-called augmented manufacturing analytics. This is for the white goods use case in particular, where we provide prescriptive quality analytics through the assistant, and we are trying to simplify the access to analytics through a conversational interface. This is the main focus there. We have some explanations also for prescriptions. That's a kind of fundamental research aspect of our project, and still not really working up to the expectations, because explaining AI behavior is not so easy in many cases, and explaining it in a way that it's understandable for the workers is yet another level of difficulty. Then we have the cognitive assistance for on-the-job training. This is covered by the 2 other use cases, by textile and by detergent production. There, the idea is that we collect worker experiences through a conversational interface. The assistant gives advice based on workers' experience level and covers experience levels such as students, novices, and experts, and something in between also. And the assistant adapts its advising behavior based on what it understands, what it learns. So there's some kind of dynamics included in that as well. So this was my presentation about COALA in a nutshell. You can find much more information on our website and social media channels, so please have a look at that. And I think there will be soon some updates also from the evaluation once we concluded the first round. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Stefan, for the presentation. The next presentation on the use case of textile will be then presented by our partner, Massimo Curti.